So in this session we are going to discuss the question which came in NEET examination in the year 2018. So let's go into the session. You can see here the first question. So this came from the chapter Plant Kingdom. So the first question is, which of the following statement is correct? Okay, they have given the four options. Let's go from the last. Now we can see the stems, the D, option D you can see here. Stems are usually unbranched in both cycas and cedrus. So this was a statement given in the D. So this question is directly asked from the NCERT textbook. You can see here they have given clearly in the textbook. These are cycas. Cycas is, you can see, cycas is unbranched. Okay. Whereas you can see cedrus is branched. There you go, right? Cycas is unbranched and cedrus is branched. Whereas an option they have given as unbranched cycas and cedrus, whereas cedrus is branched. So that option is wrong. So this statement is already given in the NCERT book. There's direct question only. So let's see the next option. Selaginella and heterosporous, while salvina is homosporous. Option C. So for that also you can see here the textbook they have given, you can see here Selaginella and salvina. Okay, the Selaginella and salvinia which produce two kinds of spores. Two kinds means one will be large and one will be smaller spores will be produced. So it is called as heterosporous. So okay, it is called as heterosporous. It is not called as homosporous. Both Selaginella as well as salvina is heterosporous. Whereas an option you can see that they have given as what? Selaginella is heterosporous, salvina is homosporous. They have given like that. So that is also a wrong option. So that also will not come there. So next, if you see, the next option is hostiles or gymnosperms. So for that also you can see here the pteridophytes. You can see pteridophytes includes hostiles. That means what? Hostiles comes under pteridophytes. That will not come under gymnosperms. That option is also wrong. And the first option, if you see here, ovules are not enclosed by ovary ball in gymnosperms. What are gymnosperms? It is called as what? Naked seeds. They don't have flowers. Okay, the flowers will not be there. The seeds will be naked seeds. Okay, so that is true actually. You can see here the gymnosperms. You can see gymnosperm. Gymnos means naked, sperma means seeds, so naked seeds. You can see the option also here. Ovules are not enclosed. Ovules are not enclosed. You can clearly see here, right? Ovules are not enclosed. They have given the directly. So that is the correct option. So the answer is option A. Ovules are not enclosed by ovary wall in gymnosperms. So this is the direct question from the chapter Plant Kingdom. And if you go to the next question, you can see the it is from the morphology. Okay, morphology of flowering plants. So pneumatophores occur in where? Okay, there is a question. What do you mean pneumatophores? You can see I have given the picture here. The roots, that is a root modification. Usually roots will be geotrophic, right? Or phototrophic. It is geotrophic. Always roots will be geotrophic, means towards the gravitational force. It grows through the soil underground. Whereas here you can see in the picture I have clearly shown here, you can see the roots are coming towards like phototrophic. Okay, coming outside the soil towards upwards, towards light is coming outside. Okay, this is called as pneumatophores. So where, in which kind of plants you can see this pneumatophores? That is the question. So you can see here options given: halophytes, carnivorous plants. What is carnivorous plants? So the insectivorous plants are called as carnivorous plants. And free floating hydrophytes, submerged hydrophytes. Hydrophytes means which lives in water aquatic plants. Some will be submerged, some will be free floating. So in B, C, D, the roots will not be coming like this. Okay, only you can see only in halophytes. What do you mean halo? Halo means saline conditions, salt conditions. The marine conditions will be there like. So in those conditions only you can see this pneumatophores. So this is also directly from your NCERT book. I have given the snapshot of that. You can see there's pneumatophores. You can see, right? Pneumatophores. Where you can find this growing in swampy area. So example is rhizopora. You remember this rhizopora. Maybe next examination they can ask simply the example of pneumatophores. You can write rhizopora. Rhizopora will be growing in swampy area. That is like saline conditions. So for the respiration purpose, they need oxygen, right? So they will be coming towards the phototroph. They will be coming out from the soil. So this is called as pneumatophore. The option correct is halophytes. That is A. Okay, that means saline conditions. Okay. So let's move to the next question. So this is also came from the morphology of flowering plants. Here the sweet potato is a modified what? That is a question here. Stem, taproot, adventitious root, rhizome. You can see that I have given the diagram of the sweet potato. So what do I mean by the taproot and adventitious root? Rhizome. What is the example for rhizome? Rhizome means ginger. You can tell ginger, turmeric. So it is not like that. So rhizome will not come. Stem also will not come. It is not a modified stem. Okay. Suppose in case of the asked potato, simply potato means it will come under stem. So you already know sweet potato is a modified root, but whether it is a taproot or adventitious, that is a question here. So taproot means that root which develops directly from the radicle, that is the root tissue. It is called as taproot. Adventitious root means the root which develops apart from the radicle, other than the root tissue, is called as adventitious root. Okay, here the option you can see here. From the NCERT book only they have the question has came, so directly you can answer. You can see the answer is adventitious root. Okay, you can see the answer also there. They have given clearly the sweet potato. We can see, I will mark here, right? Adventitious root of sweet potato. You can see there, right? Adventitious roots of sweet potato. That means sweet potato has what? Adventitious roots. That is modified root of the sweet potato. So option is adventitious root. Okay. So the next question, if you see, this came from the chapter Anatomy of Flowering Plants. So here the plants have little or no secondary growth are called. Okay, or examples they have given: conifers, deciduous, angiosperm, cycads. These three diagrams I have given here. You can see the cycads. This is the cycads, and this is the deciduous angiosperms for trees, and this is the conifers. Okay, the pine trees will be the right. So in these three cases, the secondary growth will be there. By the appearance, you can see they are looking very tall, whereas like broad, the woody plants are there. So they have secondary growth in these cases. Whereas in the option A, you can see grasses will be very small. You can see, so it will be very small. They are not woody, right? So in it is not woody. So usually the grasses will be monocots. So usually monocots will be don't have this secondary growth. You can see this is also directly asked from the NCERT. You can see here the options I have given. You can see the grasses are not woody here, right? And you can see they have mentioned monocotyledons root do not undergo secondary growth. Okay, so they have directly given. So then the given option, which is monocot, grass is the monocot. So you can clearly answer that will be grasses. So option is grass. Now go to the next question, anatomy of flowering plants. So in this also they have given from the same chapter, the Casparian strips occur in. Okay, what are the Casparian strips actually? So you can see here I have given the snapshot, the Casparian strips you can see here, right? Yeah, Casparian strips is here, right? That is a waxy material, water impermeable. So water cannot flow through the layer. Okay, that is a waxy material made up of what? Suberin. So generally they can ask in next example, they will be asking like Casparian strips. Okay, is in the form of what? Like it is made up of what? Means it is made up of waxy material, suberin. So it is water impermeable. So suberin is deposited there. So it is water impermeable. Water cannot pass through this layer. That is Casparian strip. So where you can find this Casparian strip? That is the question here. So if you see the structure, you can clearly identify. So this is a structure given the NCERT book directly. You can see. So epidermal layer is the outermost layer, and following the epidermal layer will be having what? Cortex layer will be there. Yeah. And then following the cortex layer, the endodermis will be there. You can see this is the endodermis, and in endodermis only you can see the Casparian strips. You can see that, right? Casparian strips are there. So what will be the answer? Casparian strips is found in endodermis. So that is very thick nature, and you can see the flow also here. You can see from outside, you can see from here to here the flow is there, right? That is called as what? Apoplast. Whereas in the Casparian strips they cannot move. It is impermeable though. So only what happens? It enters into the cytoplasm. It cannot flow in the apoplastic pathway. Okay, so that is a Casparian strip found in endodermis. So the option will be endodermis. Okay. The next question, anatomy of flowering plants. Here the secondary xylem and phloem in dicot stem are produced by. So this is also directly from the NCERT book only have asked this question. So if you go through the line by line the NCERT book, you can answer more than 80 to 85% of the questions. So few questions like 15 to 20% they will be asking apart from NCERT. That means that concept will be NCERT, but you have to apply. Okay, like applicable questions will be there. So you can see here. So in the first diagram you can see they have given what primary xylem and primary phloem will be there. You can see, right? Whereas here you can see in the second, after the secondary development, you can see secondary growth, secondary xylem as well as secondary phloem are forming. From where it is forming, that is a question here. So from where it is forming means from the vascular cambium. From the vascular cambium only they are forming. You can clearly see the vascular ring, like there is a ring, like you can see the ring, right? Blue color ring is there inside, right? From the ring only they say will be slowly developing and forming the secondary xylem and phloem. You can see here directly they have given the answer. You can see, right? Secondary xylem as well as secondary phloem. So where they come from? From the cambial ring, vascular cambium. So the actin begin to cut off the new cells. Okay, from that only what happens? Secondary xylem as well as secondary phloem is forming. So the answer will be what? Vascular cambium. Okay. So next, go to the next question. Biological classification. It is came from the chapter biological classification. Select the wrong statement. Okay. So among the 4 statements which is wrong. So first option, if you see, cell wall is present in the members of fungi and plantae. As you all know, only in the Monera. Okay, like you can see Monera will be having what? From Monera to the Animalia will be having 5 kingdom classification, as you all know. In the tabular column they have given, right? If you see in that, only in animals, okay, animals they don't have cell wall. Remaining all they will be having what? Cell wall. And if you see like virus, they don't have cell wall. It is made up of what? Protein coat. So in 5 kingdom classification, if you see from the Monera to the higher like Animalia, only in animals they don't have cell wall, whereas fungi and plants they will be having what? Cell wall. First option is right. The second option will be coming later. So the next C, you see mushrooms belong to basidiomycetes. Yeah, this is also like direct only, like mushrooms belongs to basidiomycetes only. And mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell in kingdoms except Monera, because Monera consists of what? Bacteria, unicellular organisms. Bacteria don't have mitochondria. Okay, they don't have cellular organelles except ribosomes. So mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell. So in Monera, in bacteria, they don't have mitochondria. So in the Monera, what happens? Powerhouse is not there. So mitochondria are powerhouse of the cell kingdoms except Monera. Except Monera, remaining all the kingdoms. Okay, like fungi, plantae, and Animalia. Okay, all will be having protist. All will be having this mitochondria, whereas Monera don't have mitochondria. That is also right. So if you come to the second option B, you can see pseudopodia or locomotory and feeding structure in sporozoans. So is it not right? Okay, this is only the amoeboid proto. You can see here I have given the snapshot directly from the NCERT book. You can see the amoeboid protozoans. Okay, amoeboid protozoans live in fresh water. You can see they will be moving. Okay, that is what? Locomotion and capture their prey. What is capture their prey means? Food. They will be using what? Pseudopodia. Okay, pseudopodia they'll be using. Okay, if you go back to the option, you can see what is that? Locomotory and feeding. They can given, right? Locomotory and feeding. Locomotory means movement. Feeding means like food, right? You can see here also what they have given. You can see movement means locomotory. Capturing their prey means food. They will be using what? Pseudopodia. So the option is amoeboid protozoans is the right. Whereas they given what? They have given sporozoans. Sporozoans they don't have pseudopodia. Okay, so that is wrong option. So here you have to mark pseudopodia locomotory feeding structures in sporozoans. That is a wrong option actually. Suppose if they given the amoeboid protozoans, that will be the right, whereas they given sporozoans, so it is wrong option actually. So we go to the next question. Molecular basis of inheritance. Here the experimental proof for semi-conservative replication of DNA was first shown in. So this question I have discussed in the molecular basis of inheritance, the NEET discussion I have discussed. If you have not seen that video, I have given the link in the description. You can go and see that, and you can see here fungus, plant, bacterium and virus. So they have used on the bacterium. This is also direct question. You can see experimental proof, you can see that is E. coli first. Okay, semi-conservative. So semi-conservative DNA replication that was shown first in E. coli. E. coli E. coli means what? That is a bacterium. So the option is bacteria, right? You can see option experimental proof of semi-conservative replication was first shown. That is bacteria. Option C is the right answer. And next question, molecular base of inheritance. This also came from that. And this question also I have discussed in that session. You can see through the link given in the description. And the 4 options I have given here, like Alex Jeffries, Matthew Meselson and Starr, Hersey and Chase, Jacob and Monod, okay, which is the correct match they are asking. You can see the Jacob and Monod, lac operon, that is the right answer. Okay, as you all know, the scientists Jacob and Monod, they only given this lac operon proposal. Okay, that model was given by this Jacob and Monod. Whereas Alfred, Hersey and Chase, what they did, Hersey and Chase experiment, as you all know, have given the here the screenshots. You can see Hersey and Chase, like Alfred Jeffrey, the first option. Okay, what he did, Jeffrey did the fingerprinting, genetic fingerprinting, DNA profiling. Whereas in the option what they have given Streptococcus pneumoniae they have given. Okay, where Streptococcus pneumoniae is used in the transformation experiments by Griffith. Okay, that will not come here. On the second option, Meselson and Starr, Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum is used, that is a pea plant, garden pea plant used by Gregor Jorgen Mendel in his genetic experiments. Meselson and Starr didn't use that experiment. Meselson and Starr, what they used, you can see here, they have the semi-conservative model of replication was given by them with E. coli. Okay, so that was done by this Meselson and Starr. Okay, so that also not matching there. So Hersey and Chase TME. TME means tobacco mosaic virus, which causes mosaic disease in the tobacco plants. They have not worked on that, this virus, but they worked in virus but not in TME. Which virus they have worked on? They worked in the bacteriophage virus. You can see Hersey Chase experiment they conducted with the bacteriophage to prove that DNA is a genetic material, right? So that also wrong option there. And if you can see here, Jacob and Monod lac operon. So this also directly came from NCERT book only. So Jacob and Monod, so they only proposed operon model. Okay, you can see here. So option will be Jacob and Monod lac operon. This is a correct match there. Okay, the next question, from the principles of inheritance and variation, here you can see, select the correct statement here also. So you can see the Franklin Starr coined the term linkage. They have given like that. Whereas in previous question I have said, right, Meselson and Starr, what they did, semi-conservative model of replication. Whereas what they given here, they given linkage, but linkage is not coined by him. Linkage is coined by T.H. Morgan. And spliceosomes take part in translation. What is translation? Translation is the production of proteins from RNA. Formation of protein from RNA is called as translation. But spliceosomes will not come there. So spliceosomes, where it will come? It will come in the post-transcriptional modifications. Okay, in eukaryotic regulation, what happens na? The spliceosomes, that is the genes will be containing introns as well as exons. Exons means which the sequence which are expressing, introns are the parts which are not expressing. So introns will be removed from the RNA. Okay, after that only that will be coming out of the cytoplasm, coming out of the nucleus into the cytoplasm. So spliceosomes will be taking part, that will be coming in the like modification. Okay, during the modification, that is post transcriptional modification, not in translation. So that is also a wrong statement. So the last option, if you see here, transduction was discovered by this Altman, they have given right. So transduction was not discovered by him, it was discovered by like Norton Zinder and Joshua Lederberg. So these two only given right. Okay, so what about Altman? What he did? So he only give that catalytic activity of RNA was found by him only. That is like RNA also acts as enzyme, catalytic activity, that is rRNA. Ribosome is the right. So this was discovered by this Altman. Okay, so all the 3 options are wrong. Whereas if you see the option C, Punnett square was developed by British scientists. So this is the right option. This is also directly from the NCERT book I have given here. You can see the Punnett square. You can see Punnett square was developed by the British genetist. Okay, geneticist, and his name is Reginald C. Punnett. Maybe next examination they can ask the name also. So remember, Reginald C. Punnett is the British geneticist. He only given this Punnett square. What do I mean Punnett square? It is a graphical representation for what? there may be many probabilities. How many genotypes also we can, many genotypes we will be getting. We have to calculate how many probabilities are there, what is the probability, how many genotypes, possible genotypes we can get from the genetic cross. Okay, like graphical representation. So that is called as Punnett square. That is not a simple cross. This is a graphical representation with a box. It is also called as checkers board or checkers box. Okay, so the correct option is Punnett square was developed by British scientist. Okay. If you go to the next question, principle of inheritance, here also you can see which of the following, okay, which of the following pair is wrongly matched. You can see the second option, exotype sex determination was in grasshopper. This is also direct question, right? So this is the right option. ABO blood grouping is called codominance. So in this case, ABO blood grouping they have given, but in the ABO blood grouping, ABO, all the three will not come under codominance, only that AB. So we can consider it as okay. Okay, here like AB. When the both parents are having AB, what happens? This both A and B will be expressed together. These alleles in a single gene. If you have allele A and allele B, both will be expressing as AB blood group. So it is called as codominance together. Okay, so that is also right option. And T.H. Morgan, so as I already said in previous question, T.H. Morgan, he only coined the linkage. Okay, and the first option, if you see starch synthesis in P, it is multiple alleles they have given. That is a wrong option actually. You can see here directly it came from the NCERT book only. You can see like starch synthesis in pea seeds is controlled by only one gene. Okay, it has how many alleles? You can see two alleles, capital B and small b. What do you mean multiple alleles? Multiple alleles means more than two alleles. In the case of blood groups, you have A, B and O. IA, IB and IO will be there. Okay, three alleles. So that is called as multiple allelism. Whereas in this case you have only two alleles, so it is not called as multiple alleles. Okay, moreover it shows incomplete dominance. Okay, you can see here it is incomplete dominance, and so this is wrong option actually. So this is not multiple alleles because it has only two alleles. If it has more than two alleles, we can say it is multiple allele. In this case they don't have, so this is a wrong option. So next question, reproduction in organism. So offsets are produced by, okay, like they have given meiotic division, parthenocarpy, mitotic divisions and parthenogenesis. On parthenocarpy, so the development of the fruit without fertilization is called as parthenocarpy. Parthenogenesis means development of the organism. In the case of animals, we can say honeybee is there, right? So the male honeybees will be produced without fertilization. So that is called as parthenogenesis. The formation of organism without fertilization is called as parthenogenesis. In the case of fruit, carpy means what? Carpels. Okay, the female part is the right. In the flowers, the carpy. So parthenocarpy means development of fruit without fertilization. And meiotic divisions will be occurring in the sexual mode of reproduction only, where the gametes will be produced as a result of meiotic division. Later these gametes will be fusing together to form zygote. So that is in case of sexual reproduction, whereas offsets will be coming under asexual mode of reproduction, that is vegetative reproduction. In the case of plants, we will be calling it as vegetative reproduction. So option is mitotic division. Through repeated mitotic divisions only what happens? So in asexual reproduction, through mitotic divisions only offsets will be produced. You can see I have given the diagram here. You can see offset, right? So you have given the diagram. This is the water hyacinth I have given here. That is Acornia. That is also called as terror of Bengal, right? So here the offsets are produced through mitotic division. Here it is not a sexual reproduction. So this is also directly given from the NCERT book. You can see here that is a asexual mode. So that these are called vegetative propagules. You can see here, right? Offset. Offset is a vegetative propagules. Okay. So they can directly give rise to they can given directly rise to offsprings. There is no sexual mode of reproduction, right? So this is we can say mitotic division. So here meiotic division is not possible. It is not a sexual reproduction. So the option is through mitotic repeated cell divisions. What happens? It produces offsets and produces a new offspring. So that is mitotic division. So next you can see reproduction in organism. Which of the following flower? Only once in the lifetime they will be flowering. Okay, flowers will produce only once. Okay, as you all know, the mango, jackfruit, papaya you all be having in your home as well as in nearby neighbors will be having. So during every year during the season of mango, jackfruit, papaya, you'll be getting all those fruits. Okay, that means they will not produce flowers only once in their lifetime. We don't get mango or jackfruit or papaya. Okay, but every year we are getting, right. That means they will be producing the flowers and fruits. So B, C, D will not come there. Whereas bamboo species, okay, they only will flower only once in their lifetime. So this is also directly came from your NCERT book only. You can see here the bamboo species, right? Bamboo species flower only once in their lifetime. So directly they have given the option here, right? 50 to 100 years it will take. So later after producing fruits they will die. So the option is bamboo species. Okay, and then if you go to the next question, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, asked in this question, which of the following has proved helpful in preserving pollen as fossils, right? Before going to that, you should know what is pollen. Pollen is the produced as in the flowers. Actually, we will be having what, male and female pods will be there. Anther is the male reproductive pod in the flower. So anther produces the pollens. Pollen grains will be produced. That is a male gamete. Male gametes will be present inside. It develops the pollen tube, which will be transferred into the ovary and then into ovule, where the fission will be taking place. So this pollen can be preserved as fossils. Okay, how for the preservation it needs some extra covering or coating should be there, right? So what is that? You can see here the options: pollen kit, oil content, cellulosic content, sporopollenin. So which of these four content is helpful in preserving the pollen grain? So whether this pollen kit is preserving, oil content of is preserving, or cellulosic intine is preserving, or sporopollen is preserving. So option is sporopollenin. So sporopollenin is the present in exine regions of these pollens. So they cannot be easily degraded by any enzymes. Okay, there is no found enzyme that can easily degrade this sporopollen. That is very rigid structure and it is very strong in nature. So that is why while during pollination also, while traveling in air or water, wherever, another pollen grains will be very strong. So this sporopollenin is because of this nature only they can be preserved as fossils. You can see here the option directly gave from the NCERT book. You can see sporopollenin, like sporopollenin, fossils preserved, right? See, preserved as fossils because of the presence of sporopollenin. So sporopollenin is the right option. Okay. The next question, it came from the biotechnology and its applications. Here you can see which of the following is commonly used as vector for introducing DNA into human lymphocytes. So what is a vector? Vector means it is a transferring vehicle, a gene transferring vehicle used for transferring the gene from one organism to another organism is called as vector. Okay, so we will be discussing about this later. And here if you come to the options, retrovirus, iphage, TA plasmid, PBR 322 was there, right? So in this case, what is iphage? Bacteriophage is the right. Phages will be infecting bacteria only, so we can use only in bacteria as vectors. Whereas TA plasmid we can, that is will be coming in agrobacterium tumefaciens. Okay, this agrobacterium tumefaciens consists this TA plasmid. So this TA plasmid can be used as vector in case of plants. This PBR 322 is an artificial plasmid, so this is useful as vector in bacteria. E. coli plasmid, you can say it as E. coli vector. And then retrovirus, in case of humans we will be using what, retrovirus as the vectors. Okay, that is the right option. So this is also directly asked from the NCERT content. You can see here they have given the option here, right, using retroviral vector. Okay, introduced into the lymphocytes. Okay, you can see, right? So that means in the case of human, these lymphocytes, you will be using retroviral vector as a vector molecule. Okay, so that is the right option. So the option will be A, retrovirus. So in the next session we will be discussing about the another 15 to 20 questions from this 2018. So I will be meeting in that session with another set of questions from the 2018 NEET questions. Thank you friends. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.